Hey everyone! So, I realized that I am long overdue to make a video about my time at Maker Faire. When was that? The beginning of May, actually. Um, but May has been an absolutely crazy month. I've been doing so many things, and I just haven't gotten a chance to make a video about it. So I figured that I would take this opportunity to make a video explaining how Maker Faire went, the things that went on there, how that went, as well as some of the other things that I did this May that have really been eating up my time. It's been a lot of fun, but it's also been wildly busy. So I'm hoping that things will slow down and quiet down a little bit in June. But here's a little bit of what was been going on in May. So we'll start with Maker Faire. And badam! Okay, so here are supplies that I brought to Maker Faire. You can see there a little bit more of the television that I modded. I chose this TV specifically. It's annoyingly heavy, but as you can see there's a whole bunch of ports, so I could hook up like anything I could ever want. But for my purposes, all I needed was HDMI. On the back, I actually used 2x4 to make a kickstand for the TV. If you've ever seen like a Microsoft Surface tablet, or actually even on the back of the Switch, it's kind of the same concept. That's actually held on there with some hinges, and there's a chain that puts it in place to make sure that it doesn't flop all the way open. And you can also use it to secure the actual kickstand to the television for transportation. So there's that. I have all sorts of supplies there. You can see my laptop on the charger, a box full of cables, and my wireless router. I even had a portable battery backup. You can see there that giant black box with the silver X on the top. Really anything that I could need for this. So here's all the stuff. I had it packed up, ready to go. Let's see. Yeah, so then we're off to Maker Faire. And here's my booth. Got it all set up. I'm doing a little bit of troubleshooting here. I've got the computer hooked up that works as the brains of the operation. Essentially, it works kind of like a Zoom meeting, where I broadcast from one computer, and this computer receives it, and it just displays it on the television. It uses Discord, but I got that all set up. I was running into a little bit of technical difficulty, but I was able to work through a lot of it. So there it is as I'm troubleshooting it, and there we go. This is how the whole setup worked once it was completely done and ready to go. So, yeah, there's that. But you can see at the top, let me go back to the first picture. Okay, there it is. So on the top of the TV, you can see there's a little silver bolt that I put into it, and it's actually the perfect size for a camera mount. So then, if I go back to this picture, you can see where I've mounted a webcam on the top so that I can interact with people who visited my booth. I can see them through the webcam, and I can hear them through the webcam microphone. The TV itself has a built-in speaker, so I can talk to people through that, and I can hear the responses through the webcam. That was actually a learning experience that I figured out later on. The webcam microphone is not ideal for a crowded space with a lot of background noise, like the convention hall. So I've got some upgrades planned for that. Yeah, there's definitely improvements to be made to this design, but I've got the parts I need, and hopefully for the next one things will be smoother. Let's see, I've got some more for that one. Let's see, I've got some video, and the video, they're a little embarrassing, but there's some examples of how things went. So,
this is the once-in-a-lifetime event, the first, the only, the grand debut of the meet and greet of Kawari. Thanks for coming today.
So anyway, there it is. That was my introduction. As soon as I got the whole thing set up and working, that's how I greeted everybody that was there to see it. Oh, here's my Be Back Soon screen. Yeah, I probably wasn't around at the time, but it's just a little bit to see the convention hall and my actual setup there. There were a lot of cool people there. Let's see what else. Oh, I loved this one.
Thank you for all you've done for us.
I got to meet R2-D2. I think it's R2-D2, but it's gold and black color design, so I'm not sure.
Hi, Kaori.
Hello. So during the sum of it, I had a little bit of trouble like hearing and seeing people. The microphone on that webcam wasn't as good as I was hoping. It worked great when I was at home and I was testing this in my living room, but I didn't have like the dull roar of the convention hall in the background. And overall, it was just killing the microphone, and my audio balancing was way off. So I actually have a Rode shotgun directional mic that I think is going to work a lot better for this going forward. If you know anything else about microphones and have a better suggestion, I'm more than happy to hear them. I'm just starting to learn about this kind of stuff. But anyway, I got the this little hand that I could wave at people because sometimes it was kind of hard to hear them, and sometimes I wasn't sure if they could hear me either.
Wow, you look and sound crisp. I think this is gonna be it. Hey guys. Hello. Can you see and hear people?
I can see and hear you.
Oh, great.
All right, so you can see there, I was interacting with my lovely wife. She was helping me out handling the other end of this, as I was from the broadcasting side. She was checking things out on the receiving side. So I was located in the actual convention hall, but in a different location. So I brought my wireless router from home, and I put it between the two stations so that I could share an internet connection from both my broadcast location, but also my receiving location, and they would just both share the wireless internet connection. That didn't go quite as planned though, and I wasn't getting a very good connection on either side. I was only maxing maybe 6 megabits per second, and I need at least 10 to 15 for the stream to go smoothly. So that wasn't working very well. So eventually, what I discovered was that I could just use a wired connection on both the broadcast and receiving station, and suddenly my connection was much faster. I was getting commercial grade internet speeds, and my broadcast got significantly better. So yeah, if you end up rewinding this video, you'll see that in some of the early ones, I'm choppy, I'm not very responsive. Overall, the video feed wasn't great. But after I moved to a wired connection at both stations, everything went much better. So anyway, that's the explanation behind that one.
Yeah, I can see and hear the difference majorly
Oh yeah.
on our side.
Here's a little bit of an explanation, or at least me trying to explain maybe why it wasn't working so well.
Okay.
Talk to me, Kaori.
Okay, I was just doing a little bit of diagnostic over here to see how much better we're doing now, and it is definitely much, much better.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a story of trial, of triumph, of
I don't remember if this is me
learning. It was
just
a
being a
learning
weirdo.
experience. We found out that our home wireless router isn't good enough for this purpose, that we need something better. The people demand it, we demand it, and now we know for next time that when we do this, it has to be a wired connection, and that wireless probably isn't going to work. There could be a number of reasons why that didn't work. It could be that we were trying to stretch too far away, that we were trying to split that connection across too far a distance. It could also be, with so many people in the area, maybe it could have been a radio interference, so many cell phones around, and really this router is, oh, I see you wiggling your fingers there. Really the router is built for home use, and right now we're definitely not in a home setting, so I wonder if that could have been a problem also, that with so many different radio waves from cell phones and other people's displays, and maybe that was cutting out, so I don't know. Technology's weird too.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh my gosh, hold on. I gotta pause this. This is Jerry, and Jerry was the MVP. Jerry, I hope you're watching this because you were like my favorite person at the Maker Faire. Don't get me wrong, everybody at the Maker Faire, they were lovely, and I was so glad to meet everybody. But like, Jerry kept showing up, and Jerry's like, "Hey, you're awesome," and I'm like, "You're awesome, Jerry." So yes, I had a great time. Jerry brought me this like beautiful painting of like a fox that he'd gotten somewhere. Um, I think if I remember, Jerry made. I think Jerry said he makes board games. Anyway, Jerry, if you're seeing this, you're awesome. Thank you so much. It was great meeting you there. You had to make it into the video, man. Ah, yeah, me interacting with some of my visitors. I don't know why the video is sideways, but just tilt your head. It's fine.
Okay, now peer out.
Oh, okay. So at one point, I started playing around with like the what are they like the add-ons in VTube Studio. That was a lot of fun.
You've all been waiting for. This is the once in a lifetime.
Oh, whoops!
event.
We're back to the
first,
beginning of
the
this.
Only, the grand debut of the meet.
Okay. So anyway, that was Maker Faire. Everybody there was lovely. The staff at Maker Faire was more than accommodating. They helped me in any conceivable way. They were all excellent. Shout out to Paul there. I remember Paul. I think he was from Maker Faire Rochester, but he and his wife had the booth next to mine, and they were just a ton of fun and great to work with. Like I said, Jerry was awesome. I don't think he was from the Maker Faire staff, but he was just an awesome participant. But yeah, lots of really cool people there. It was awesome, everyone that I met. Anyway, let's see. Let's take a look at the time. That had to have been, what was that, the 9th, I think? Yeah, I think that was the 9th. So then we move forward ahead to May 14th. And on May 14th, it was in New Jersey. It was Hatsune Miku Expo 2026. And I had agreed to go to this, agreed, as if I didn't want to go. I did want to go, but I'd made plans for this months ago. And then suddenly, as I started looking at my calendar and seeing, May is filling up really fast. So less than a week after going to Maker Faire, then I was off to Hatsune Miku Expo. And let's take a look here. Oh, there it is. So I think it was in the Prudential Center. I don't remember. Is that Newark, New Jersey? I don't know. I had a great time. This was the actual crowd there. Everybody with their glow sticks, and it was just so cool. It was so cool to be a part of it. It was an excellent weekend. Me and a buddy went out to see this, and we just had a lot of fun. But yeah, that was less than a week afterwards. But it was a ton of fun. Let's see. You know that I couldn't leave without getting a little bit of some videos here. Let's see. How do I get there going? Badunk. Here we go. I can hear the music for that, right? Let's see. Music. Here's Hatsune Miku herself. I have to say, unfortunately, we did not get hologram Miku. I mean, I guess it is what it is, and you know, it was still pretty creative the way that they handled this. Boy, it's hard to explain, but there was a screen, and the screen was like set into the stage a little bit, so that when the screen came on, it appeared as though the stage went further back. It created like a 3D space in this, like on the screen, that emulated the actual stage, so that as you're looking at it, it looks like Hatsune Miku's standing there, and that there's more of the stage behind her. It was a pretty creative solution. I would have loved to see the hologram technology because, I mean, holograms, But no, they still did an excellent job. And there was a live backing band that played all of the songs. There you can see the bassist, but they did an excellent job. It was such a cool show, and it was awesome being part of the crowd. Everybody throwing their glow sticks, and at the same time, um, it was just really cool. Let's see. Let's play some more of this. There she is. Here's everybody. All of them. Just going that was a lot of fun. But yes, that was, I think, Give me a second. I gotta look at a calendar. Yeah, I think that was May 14th. Was it? Do I have my dates wrong? Maker Faire was the 2nd. May 7th. Okay. Yes, May 7th was Hatsune Miku Fest. And then, as if that wasn't enough. So, Maker Faire May 2nd. Hatsune Miku was May 7th. And then, May 14th. You know what? Let's get the music going. There we go. All right, perfect. As if that wasn't enough, then came May 14th. I went up to Maine for my sister's college graduation. She was graduating from the University of New England. And I remember this was another one that came from months back where I agreed to this. So, actually really thinking about it, I signed up for Maker Faire months ago too. But anyway, it was just pure luck that everything fell into place in May and nothing overlapped. But it was still just an absolutely crazy month, running from one thing to the next, and none of them were like small things like, oh, I went to go see a movie with some friends. It was like, okay, I'm going for out-of-state travel, or like I'm going to have a meet and greet session. It was all so busy. Anyway, I'm sure you'd love to see my time in Maine. Yes, she was up in Maine for her graduation in the college, I believe, is in Biddeford, Maine, I think. But her graduation took place in Portland. So when we went there, we actually arrived in Portland a little bit early. We had a few hours to kill before actually going to the graduation. So we walked around, and right here, we went to this bizarre little record store called Strange Maine. And if you ever find yourself in Portland, I cannot recommend this place enough if you are into weird and obscure tapes, records, CDs. They had some old video games. There was a section of books. What am I doing? It actually says on the sign, books, video games, LPs, VHSs, tapes, magazines. It was pretty cool. It was like a lot of just like underground stuff. There was a lot of like 80s cassettes, like things that you'd never expect to find. I bought a Steelheart cassette. Like, I only knew them from like that one animation of like pterodactyls screeching, "She's gone." But the cassette was awesome. It was really cool to find there. Anyway, if you're into that kind of stuff and you find yourself in Portland, absolutely check this out. It was so cool. But anyway, that's not the main reason we were there. We went for the graduation. So here it is, the University of New England class of 2026 graduation. I believe this is all of their schools of dentistry and marine biology and just everything. I think they have like a criminal justice or something. Anyway, here's everybody here. Very proud of my sister. She made it through, and she made it look so easy too. I know that she had her struggles along the way, but it seems like just yesterday that she was graduating high school. Now here she is graduating from college. It's completely wild. Time flies so quickly. Anyway, like I said, I'm very, very proud of her. She did a great job, and it was a lot of fun. It was nice to see her there. Now, the one other fun thing in Maine, and this one has a neat story, a little bit of Kaori lore. I actually have a camper van, and it's right there. You can see it. It's a very unassuming looking 2000 Chevy Express. Just looks like your typical church van from the outside. Once you get on the inside, there's a bed, there's a sink. I have a little burner stove. There's a portable heater in there. I have running water. There's doesn't work great, but I have a battery system with a little bit of electricity going. Really, it's just a great weekend getaway thing. So we took it up to Maine, and we stayed at this beautiful campground, Red Apple Campground in Arundel, Maine. Shout out to them. They were great. It was clean. It was a really nice campground. We had a great time. But after my sister's graduation, she tells us about this great place to get lobster rolls. We're in Maine, and we're not going to get lobster? Yeah, right. So we're going to go get lobster rolls. And as we're driving, as we're driving back from the graduation to go get lobster rolls, I noticed that the battery light comes on my dash, and I have a million different little dials on there showing my oil, the temperature of the coolant, my gas, and most importantly for this one was my battery meter. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that going down? I can't tell if that's going down, but what I can clearly tell is that it's not going up. So I bring it into an AutoZone, and then I bring it into an O'Reilly's, and I get the same result from both of them, that my alternator is going, and that my van is going to be dying soon. So it's like a Saturday afternoon. Where am I going to get the alternator for my van? And I'm pretty handy mechanically. I could replace an alternator, but this is pretty deep into the engine of the car, and it's not quite so easy to get to. So, yeah, nobody can see me. And the problem is that it's not just my vehicle for driving around, but it's also my accommodations. This is where I'm supposed to be staying for the night. So what am I supposed to do? Huge, massive shout out to the Firestone in Biddeford, Maine, because I brought it in there and I'm like, hey, can you guys see me? And they're like, oh yeah, we're just finishing something up. We should be able to see you in like 10 minutes. Anyway, they took like 3 hours. They replaced the alternator in my van, and I was back on the road. I could not believe that they got me going again. It was fantastic, phenomenal. I think it was Amanda and Tyler. I think that was their names. Either way, huge shout out to the staff there, because without them taking the time to take care of this on a Saturday afternoon, yeah, I don't know what I was going to do. So anyway, they saved my day, and we were able to drive back from Maine without any problems. It was an excellent time. We had a lot of fun, had some delicious lobster rolls, got to see my sister graduate again. So proud of her. But yeah, that was the weekend of the 14th and the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th we spent out in Maine before coming back. So anyway, yeah, that after that was it for May. And I had nothing else to do, and I had nothing else planned, and I spent all of Memorial Day weekend doing absolutely nothing. And it's been glorious, because I've been running around and I've been having a ton of fun, but it's been so tiring. So anyway, here's to a relaxing June. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. So see you later.